So today I am working on this 3D puzzle. It's of a rubber duck, and there's a little bag inside the box, and it comes with all of these pieces. There are no instructions, there's just a little booklet that lists all the other puzzles that the company offers. So along with all of the pieces, there are also these two sticks that go in there. They've got little screws at the top. So I'm not entirely certain how this will fit in. I imagine it's used to hold the pieces together. We'll see. So one thing I was able to figure out as soon as I started is that this piece has to be the bottom. It's the only piece of this size. All the other pieces are part of a circle, whereas this one has the entire oval shape. And on the bottom, it has something written here. So this is my first attempt. It's level 1, it says, so should be pretty easy. I've been working on it for about 10 minutes now, and I haven't really gotten anywhere. All I've got is this piece put together here, which I'm thinking is the top of the duck. So let's see how this goes. These are the only small pieces I'm finding that would be part of a small circle. The rest of the pieces are pretty big. You can tell they're the bigger part of the duck. So clearly these are the pieces that I'm working with. For some reason I can't get them to fit together. Let's see if I can figure out if there's a trick or something. So I wasn't having any luck adding to the top or to this puzzle piece that I put together, these two. So I started to work on the bigger circles, and I managed to put together 3 pieces here. So that's coming together a little bit. So it's just a lot of trial and error at this point. I'm trying to match the size of the piece, like I can tell how big of a circle it's going to be, and I'm trying to match that to the other pieces of that would have a similar size. So I'm not sure who decided that this was a level 1 easy puzzle. I don't consider myself an expert at puzzles, but I consider myself pretty good, or at least I did until now, though I've only done 2D puzzles. This is my first 3D one. Way more difficult than I thought it was going to be. There is like the edge is sloping because it's making the shape of the duck, and so I have that to go on. I know I need the slope to go in a certain direction. Those pieces have to fit together in that way. And I also noticed that this piece here has a notch in it, right there. And I assume that that is where this beak piece is going to go. So this beak piece has a little area to stick in, and it probably is going to go right in there in this piece. So one thing about this puzzle is that the pieces don't stay together. They don't snap or anything, and so you have to be careful when you're moving the piece around, or if you take something out and it's clear, so it's a little bit sometimes difficult to see. It's a clear yellow. You have to make sure you get it back in just right, and sometimes it can get a little confusing. This top piece actually snapped in. It was the first one that I got, and actually snapped in. I was hoping the rest of it would be like this too, but it turns out it's not. This piece that I'm working on right now looks like it's the neck because it's gone. It's sloped in and now it's sloping back out. And so I'm expecting the beak to come around at this part sometime soon, but it's not fitting in perfectly yet. So what I did is I flipped that entire structure that I had upside down and then tried adding the piece that had the notch for the beak, and it fit perfectly. So there's the beak, fit into those notches, and it's not starting to look like a duck quite yet, but I feel like I've at least made some progress now. So you're kind of each piece here actually has 2 sections, 2 layers. And so once you figure that out, it makes the puzzle a lot easier. Right here, for example, there's a notch sticking out here, and there's something sticking out here. So I need 2 I need one piece that has two holes in it. And so this piece might seem right, but actually there's not two holes in it like it looks like, because there's the one layer underneath and one layer on top. And the layer on top has two holes in it. The layer underneath has a hole on one side and has the piece jutting out on the other. So something interesting just happened. I was making the top part and this part, and I was able to fit them together, but there's one piece you can tell that's missing right here in the middle. There's a little space there. So I'll have to find that piece later, but it's really funny. I got the rest of the head together. It's just that one piece behind the head. So this piece here, this is the body of the duck. This is the back of it. This piece here has a little notch sticking out of it. It's a piece of plastic. It looks like it got stuck on there on accident and got left there. It didn't get filed away. So I've yet to see if this will mess up the entire rest of the puzzle, or if it's something that's just there to prop the tail up a little bit, or if I can just get by with it even though it's not supposed to be there. So I have one of these longer sticks left. There was a shorter one. And this tail piece that went on top of the weird plastic piece, this had a ridge inside of it, like it was supposed to screw it in. And the screw part is at the bottom of it. This is the head of it. So what I did is I screwed it to the end of the table, and I actually stuck the nail through here and screwed it in so that it fit into this piece, and now this part is holding together completely. So here it is. I actually had to unsnap this top piece that I had done in the beginning because this nail goes in the top here. So what I'll do is I will attach this piece back on there and stick that through. And then that goes on top. So I didn't time myself, but it was hard getting started because I was still learning the best way to proceed, and took time for me to figure out that there's two layers pretty much to each piece, and so I have to look at the layers correctly, and then I was able to go pretty quickly once I figured that out. I wish the pieces would stick together more because they're a little shaky, and until you get the nails in, which is near the end anyway, they can fall apart easily, which is a little bit frustrating. But I would definitely buy this again. It was a lot of fun. And this key here is used to screw in the pieces, the long pieces that went in to hold it together. It's a piece I talked about earlier that there's a piece of plastic that was sticking out, and it looked like that it wasn't supposed to be there, and I don't think it is, but it didn't ruin the puzzle at all. It still fit together perfectly. So that's pretty good. Let me see if I can find the stickers here. Here they are. These are the stickers. There are 3 sets of eyes. I guess you could get just black eyes, and then there's ones with 1 white dot, 2 white dots. I guess it depends on your mood which ones you want to try.